Oh, nice shot.
Oh, that's good.
Hello and welcome to our online Kids at Home Christingle. Now, hopefully you might have had the chance to do a Christingle with us at Lighthouse, but if not, we will have sent out some Kids at Home pack with some of the kit needed to make your own Christingles. Now, ideally, an orange or something round is traditionally what we would use, but hunt and see, be creative, see what you can find in your household. The round bit is symbolizing the world and God's love for the world. There then should be a red ribbon that goes around the middle, showing that Jesus gave his life, his blood for all of us. Then on the outside, we should have some of the good things that God gives us. So I'm going to show you a little, here's one I made at home earlier, and try not to laugh if this is the worst Christingle you've ever seen, because it doesn't matter. It's about using what you've got. So here's my potato Christingle, not quite round, but near enough. We've got the red ribbon, and then these four bits on the side are showing the good things that God gives us. So things from the ground, we've got raisins, we've got tomatoes, we've also chucked in some Haribo as well, all the good stuff that God gives us. And then the important bit as well, the light on top, Jesus coming into a dark world as the light of the world. So we'd love you to have a go. If you end up making a Christingle that looks more bizarre than mine, then please message us a picture of it. We'd love to see it, but we just want you to remember this story this Christmas. We're now about to hear the story unpacked from the Harrison family as they take us through the next part of the Christmas story. And then Maggie is going to update you as well with a few more Christmas craft bits. So I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the new year. Goodbye.
Hi guys! I hope you're all getting excited for Christmas, because we certainly are. Hope you've all opened your advent calendars and everything. Everyone excited? Okay, so last week, when you saw us last, we were reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible, the story of Advent, when the angel Gabriel came to see Mary. And this week, we're going to be reading for the Nativity story, which is in the Bible from Luke 1 to 2. And we're reading it from, again, the Jesus Storybook Bible. Okay, let's start then. 9 months later, Mary was almost ready to have her baby. Now, Mary and Joseph had to take the trip to Bethlehem, the town of King David was from. But when they reached the little town, they found every room was full. Every bed was taken. Go away, the innkeepers told them. There isn't any place for you. Where would they stay? Soon Mary's baby would come. They couldn't find anywhere except an old tumble-down stable, so they stayed where the cows and the donkeys and the horses stayed. And there, in the stable, amongst the chickens and the donkeys and the cows, in the quiet of the night, God gave the world his wonderful gift. The baby that would change the world was born, his baby son. Mary and Joseph wrapped him up to keep him warm. They made a soft bed of straw and used the animal's feeding trough as his cradle. And they gazed in wonder at God's great gift, wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Mary and Joseph named him Jesus, Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us because, of course, he had.
That same night, in amongst all the other stars, suddenly a bright new star appeared. Of all the stars in the dark vaulted heavens, This one shone clearer as it blazed the night and made other stars look pale beside it. God put it there when his baby son was born, to be like a spotlight shining on him, lighting up the darkness, showing people the way to him. You see, God was like a new daddy. He couldn't keep the good news to himself. He'd been waiting all these long years for this moment, and now he wanted to tell everyone. So he pulled out all the stops. He'd sent an angel to tell Mary the good news. He'd put a special star in the sky to show where his boy was. And now he was going to send a big choir of angels to sing his happy song to the world. He's here, he's come, go and see him, my little boy. Now, where would you send your splendid choir to? A big concert hall maybe? Or a place perhaps? Or a palace perhaps? God sent his to a little hillside outside a little town in the middle of the night. He sent all those angels to sing for a raggedy old bunch of shepherds watching their sheep outside Bethlehem. In those days, remember, people used to laugh at shepherds and say that they were smelly and call them other rude names, which I can't possibly mention here. You see, people thought shepherds were nobodies, just scruffy old riffraff. But God must have thought shepherds were very important indeed, because they're the ones who chose to tell God the news to first. And that night, some shepherds were out in the open fields, warming themselves by a campfire. Then suddenly, the sheep darted. They were frightened by something. The olive trees rustled. That was that. A wing beat.
They turned around. Standing in front of them was a huge warrior of light, blazing in the darkness. "Don't be afraid of me," the bright shining man said. "I haven't come to hurt you. I've come to bring you happy news for everyone everywhere. Today, in David's town, in Bethlehem, God's son has been born. You can go and see him. He is sleeping in a manger." Behind the angel, they saw a strange glowing cloud, except it wasn't a cloud. It was angels, troops and troops of angels, armed with light, and they were singing a beautiful song. "Glory to God be fame and honour, and all our hurrahs." Then, as quickly as they appeared, the angels left. The shepherds stamped out their fire, left their sheep, raced down the grassy hill, through the gates of Bethlehem, down the narrow cobbled streets, through a courtyard, down some steps, past an inn, round a corner, through the hedge, until at last they reached a tumble-down stable. They caught their breath. Then, quietly, they tiptoed inside. They knelt on the dirt floor. They had heard about this promised child, and now he was here. Heaven's son, the maker of the stars. A baby sleeping in his mother's arms. This baby would be like that bright star shining in the sky that night. A light to light up the world. Chasing away darkness, helping people to see, and the darker the night got, the brighter the star would shine. Okay, that's the end. So we should all remember the great gift God gave us of the baby Jesus. See you next time. Bye!
Hello again, everybody. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the bits you've watched so far. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's inside your goodie bag this time. Lots of fun for Christmas. First thing is you've got 2 books to look at and read with a Christmas story, but there's also some colouring in them. And this one is written in rhyme, so it's like a long poem. So read it out at home, read it to Mum and Dad, get Mum and Dad to read it to you. So those are your storybooks. You'll also find some Christmas decorations to hang on your Christmas tree, in case you haven't got quite enough. Inside there also, because it's the actual Christmas story, we're making a nativity scene. So you've got a blank stable and then a whole sheet of stickers, and you can choose where to put them to make your Christmas story. There'll also be 1 or 2 other craft bits, and look out for a tube of sweets. Some colouring sheets and a word search, and a Christmas cube to make. You can colour it in, cut it out and fold it. If you need a bit of hand with the sticking, there's plenty of people at home to help. You roll it across the floor and see if you can remember which bit of the Christmas story, when it lands on a candle or the wise men or an angel, which bit of the story can you remember? Now, just to make something slightly different, you will also find a brown bag with a candle and a piece of ribbon. By the time you watch this, we may have had our Christingle service out in the car park, and we hope you've been able to come. If you weren't able to come, or it doesn't happen because we get 3 foot of snow, then you can actually make a Christingle at home. So we've given you the candle to remind you about Jesus being the light of the world, and the red ribbon to go round to remind you of the rest of the story. Now, you might not have an orange at home if you're doing this later at home. If you've got an apple or a potato, it can work just as well. A banana maybe not quite so good, but whatever you like, you can make your own Christingle. So even if you've been to Lighthouse and done one the day before, you can make a second one. And if we haven't been able to meet together, that's your chance to do so. We hope you've enjoyed your Christmas things, your Christmas pack, and we'll be back in the new year. So we'll see you soon. Bye.